What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason, Joe, and Crams are here. Elton John week. We've ranked the 35 albums. Check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. But time for our top 10 songs each. And it is Cram's turn to go first.
Yeah, well, this was a goddamn nightmare. Like, so many songs to cut. Number 10, I've got Love Song from Tumbleweed Connection, one of his more understated songs. It doesn't have like the big sweeping strings and the big booming choruses, but it's got a beautiful little acoustic part, just enchanting kind of tune. I like his lower timbre and style. I think the harmonies are majestic and magical, gives you like some California Americana vibes. Number 9, Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatters. I love the pace of it. I love the piano. And man, some of his better lyrics from Bernie. And when that mandolin comes, it's just like you're on like a magic carpet ride or something. It's so enchanting. Number 8 from Honky Chateau, I've got Mellow. I really love on the drums, there's this weird kind of double awkward drum kick in it. Like it seems so unnecessary, but it like kind of puts your nerves like up on alert, which I think serves the song really well. It's like a melancholic lounge singer vibe. I feel the hurt in it all. Great chorus and the very minor mood changes in it are really underrated. Bring it all together, which is how it should be to be mellow. From the same album, I've got Susie at number 7. I love the bounce and groove in it. I love the power and the swells that come in, just like this heavy jubilation eruption in the pre-chorus. Everything in unison when the pianos and the strings all go together. It's so awesome. And he's got a really cool style to his vocals. Same album, number 6, I've got Rocket Man, big hit. Joe was talking about it earlier. When the backing vocals all come in with the Rocking Man part, the Rocket Man part, it just sends you to the moon and back, and it's just a beautifully crafted song. Number 5, same album, I've got Honky Cat. I love kind of the weird quirkiness of it. I love the banjo. I love the keys. I love the big horns that come in, and I love just his kind of swagger to singing it all. Number 4, one of the heavier songs in this catalog with just an absolute banger of a guitar part. I've got Street Kids. I think it's just sensational. I think if I saw an Elton John show, I would want him to open with this. The way it just slides in like, and just the drums and everything rolling in the background. It's just awesome. And he's got like rock and roll persona singing it too. He's got like some fire behind him. Then this top 3, I think you can put up against any top 3 known to man. These are some of the best songs ever written. Number 3, I've got Candle in the Wind, which some people think is sappy, but for the magnitude of singing like a song about the death of maybe the biggest movie star in Hollywood history, it knocks it out of the park and does it tastefully. And those guitar parts are just absolutely beautiful. I love it. Number 2, Your Song, which I think is one of the most touching sentiments in the history of songwriting. Just saying, like, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful it is to have you in the world. Like, just absolutely gorgeous song. The piano part is perfect. The way he sings it, he's just got it right in the right place. But number 1, my second favorite song of all time, Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding. Part prog, rockin'. The first, like, you would say, like, if you told someone, like, yeah, the first 4 minutes is just like this synth arrangement with like other stuff going on or whatever, you'd be like, what? Can I just fast forward that? Absolutely not. Like, it goes by like that. And then the way it kicks in with everything, just so many different guitar parts that are memorable, coming back to like the somber part from the beginning and then taking off at the end. Like, just when you think it's out of steam at the end at like the 8-minute mark, Elton just sets off more fireworks doing the woo woo, and it's just rock and roll at its perfection. There you go. It's the best song of all time, except for my favorite song of all time.
My top 10. This was tough. Tons and tons of songs in the running. Not a lot of hits on my list. I like the hits. Nothing against the hits, but he's got some incredible deep cuts. Number 10, I've got The Ballad of Danny Bailey from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I think this is some of Taupin's best storytelling. I like the lyrics in this one. And the bass playing is incredible. So good, in fact, that I made a little cover video of it several years ago, which you may be able to find, even though the video quality is poor. Number 9, I've got Tower of Babel from Captain Fantastic. One of my favorite Nigel Olsen performances. Great drumming on this track. The whole band's phenomenal here. I love Elton's voice. He's hitting some really, really high notes. I think it's kind of easy to forget that Elton had a pretty high voice early on. He could really get up there in the 70s. Number 8, I've got the only song in my top 10 outside of the 70s. I've got Chloe from the Fox. I absolutely love this song. The electric piano on it is great. The melody is so haunting in the verse, and then the way it lifts into the chorus is so powerful. I think it stacks up to classic Elton for me. Just a killer song, the strings and everything, just really, really great. Number 7, I've got Come Down in Time, which I think it's this really cool song. And I think Tumbleweed Connection is like this really cohesive work. And this is the one track on it that feels a little out of place, but it's great. It feels like it should have been on like the self-titled, because it's got this really kind of ornate kind of feel to it. It's got the harp on it, of course, and I don't know, just something about it is really great. The melody's fantastic. I love Herbie Flowers' bass on there. I talk a lot about how much I love Dee Murray, but some of the people that were playing bass before Dee Murray were doing an excellent job as well, and the bass on that track is pretty cool. Number 6, going with Gray Seal, which was a track that was recorded earlier, and then they re-recorded it for Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, kind of a more rocking version of it, and this version is so cool. I love Elton's rollicking piano on it. Dee Murray just crushing it. As I said in the other video, his bass playing on this song is out of control. And I love the little interlude that the band does after the first chorus. It's like this little bit of tension before they launch back into the next verse, which is kind of unexpected. It's a really interesting arrangement twist. Number 5, I've got a non-album track. I've got Sugar on the Floor, which was the B-side to Island Girl. And it's actually a cover. It was a Kiki D song that she wrote and recorded in 1973. Elton's vocal on it is so soulful. I love the piano and vocal only arrangement on it. And you've got just a little bit of guitar and entering with this kind of like lead descending line that just adds this little bit to it just when it needs it. And I think it's an amazing song and a fantastic performance. Number 4, I've got Curtains, the closing track from Captain Fantastic. It's almost like his Hey Jude. It's like got this really long, epic outro that feels like it's just going to keep going forever. And it feels a little like the classic lineup, Riding into the Sunset. Of course, the rhythm section was fired after that record. But all those drum fills and everything going on at the end, it's just kind of mesmerizing. I love it. Number 3, and I should say before my top 3, all of my top 3 are from Caribou, my 3 favorite Elton songs. Perhaps an argument for making it number 1 someday. No spoiler though. Watch the video to find out where it was. Number 3, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Great ballad. One of the biggest hits from Caribou. It's got those really obvious Beach Boys backing vocals with Bruce Johnston and Carl Wilson singing harmonies. Sounds so good. Number 2, I've got Pinky, which again, I think are some of Taupin's best lyrics. A brilliantly arranged song, gorgeous vocal harmonies, some really cool acoustic guitar on there as well from Davey Johnstone, and some great hand percussion. I think the mix is amazing. Sounds so good. Number 1, I've got Ticking, a 7-minute epic about a man provoked into a massacre, killing 14 people before he himself was killed by police. I think it is Taupin's greatest moment as a storyteller, his best lyrics. Elton's piano playing is phenomenal, and the harmony backing vocals on it are brilliant. So there you go. Top 10.
All right. All great choices, great selections. There's not a lot of stinkers among those choices, that's for sure. For me, my number 10, I'm gonna go with a little deeper cutoff. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I got I've Seen That Movie Too. There's these massive drum hits. Elton's doing kind of this loungy little jazz piano flavor. It's menacing. There's that uneasy vibe. Then Johnson just has one of the cooler backwards solos I think I've ever heard. It just fits perfectly into it. It's amazing. Number 9, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, from Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Just love the simple down home instrumentation. A lot of cool percussion from Ray Cooper, who I don't think we mentioned at all in the albums video, but really cool work on percussion. He does a whole bunch of different stuff on this. And I just love Taupin's lyrics. They're focused. They're just kind of retelling the story of, John and Taupin kind of rise to greatness, and just vivid, autobiographical, wonderful little tune. Number 8, The Bitch Is Back from Caribou. I love the title. I love that Elton John's singing it on Caribou. Love that it kicks off the album. And I absolutely love that little guitar figure by Johnstone that goes throughout it. It's simple, but just unbelievably memorable. Number 7, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, Caribou. Just, a great piano ballad in classical Elton John tradition, but I think it's just a little bit better thanks to Carl Wilson and some of those Beach Boys harmonies. You add to some of the best backing vocals of all time by getting one of the greatest vocalists of all time. So that just puts it over the top for me. Number 6, I'm going to go with Harmony from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, final track. Last on the album, it's dark. It's the essence of heartbreak contained in a song. And I love the way it ends on that sigh of that final harmony. I think it's just perfection. Number 5, back to Captain Fantastic for Bitter Fingers. I love the acidic FU lyrics from Taupin on here. Just another, it's just a pop rock, pop 70s song, but it's so unique sounding to Elton. And there's just some of the coolest bass work in the whole catalog, from Dee Murray doing all these like little triplets to start off these lines. You just got to listen to it. It's incredible. Number 4, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I love the vocal work. I think it's, top 5 Elton John performances. I love the piano part, that classical influence. He's just so unique and interesting, the way he works that into his rock songs. And you got amazing drums and really cool psychedelic guitar. These sharp deviations from major to minor. An incredible song. Number 3, I'm going to go with Tiny Dancer. I just love the complexity of the arrangement. There's so much going on between the verses and the choruses and the bridges and all this stuff. Just the way it all connects is perfect. I love Paul Buckmaster's strings on it. They're so dramatic. You got just a hint of pedal steel guitar. You get that like heart tugging, and into the big chorus with Elton's buoyant vocals. It's just perfect. It's triumphant, and it's one of the great sing-along songs of all time. Number 2, Crams will be upset with me, but Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding is my number 2. I love the way it starts off the album with that spacey arp, and the way it builds, and the bass, and it comes in, and just everything builds and builds and builds. Elton's kind of funeral dirge to himself, which is cool. And then it transitions into Love Lies Bleeding, which is one of Davey Johnstone's just greatest guitar parts. Elton's going wild. That it's such a good, just incredible rock part. And maybe people don't think that Elton can rock, but he can freaking rock. Number 1, though, is going to be Someone Saved My Life Tonight. I think the lyrics are perfect. Taupin really just like channeling into Elton John's life and his psyche, and his failed marriage and subsequent suicide attempt. The backing vocals again are immaculate. The piano playing is transcendent, has a weird structure, and yet it was a big pop hit for him. But it's a slow burn. It builds. The drumming is incredible. The production, unbelievable from Gus Dudgeon. And I mentioned the drums 1,000 times in the album video. I think this is the best drum song sounding ever. It sounds like it's like right next to you, and the hits are so powerful. It's incredible. Olsen is just the goddamn master of drums, and nobody even knows about it. But hopefully we've opened their eyes with how much we've talked about the other members, not just Elton John. Like, I know the band, the artist is Elton John, but it's so much more than just Elton John.
For sure. There used to be an emo band from Bethel Park when we were in high school called Elton John Glenn.
There's also a band called Funeral for a Friend. They're like post-hardcore, I guess. I don't even know. Emo, whatever.
Let us know what you think of our lists and what songs we missed. Leave your own top 10 in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and check the video description for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, website merch, and Patreon. If you're interested in supporting us further, head over there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.